I'm gonna give her the books as a gift. I'll sell the globes.
No, you can't do that.
I can't? Then I quit. I'll find something else tomorrow.
Like what?
I don't know. I'll figure that out tomorrow. Right again, I'm sorry.
Believe me, I know all about the Northwoods. I was once trapped in Nelson's Eddie's projection booth. I know all about the Northwoods. How about Jeanette's McDonald?
Who is taking you to your very first Bears-Packer Monday Night Football game?
The very best daddy in the... Oh, sorry.
That was very good, honey.
Spit on me.
I did tonight. It's ABC's 50th anniversary Bloopers Celebration Part 2. With your host, Dick Clark, and all these stars. Tim Allen, Jim Belushi, Pat Boone, Laura Flynn Boyle, Johnny Carson, Cheech and Chong, Pam Dauber, Danny DeVito, Donnie Marie, Tennessee Ernie Ford, John Goodman, Molly Hall, Tom Hanks, Steve Harris, Bob Hope, Ron Howard, Jack Klugman, Ted Knight, Cameron Manheim, Penny Marshall, Dylan McDermott, Ed McMahon, Audrey Meadows, Pat Morita, Donnie Most, Craig T. Nelson, Tony Randall, Roseanne, Charlotte Ross, Marion Ross, Peter Scolari, John Travolta, Jerry Van Dyke, Lawrence Welk, Anson Williams, Cindy Williams, Kelly Williams, Robin Williams, Henry Winkler, and many, many more. With special guest stars Michael Badalucco, Tom Bosley, Dennis Franz, Mary Lou Henner, and Donnie Osmond. And now, your host for ABC's 50th Anniversary Bloopers Celebration, Part 2, Dick Clark.
Thank you very, very much, and welcome as we celebrate the 50th year of the ABC network with our own little twist here, 50 years of bloopers. Now, there are enough of these little treasures to fill several different shows, like our opening blooper from the show Bosom Buddies, which starred Tom Hanks and Peter Scolari. Now, in this particular clip, the rest of the cast tries to play a practical joke on Tom. Now, the script calls for them to laugh at Tom, but they go a little overboard. Take a look. Now the scene's just started. There they go.
I am not trying to be funny. The Reuben sandwich is a little fat. Look, just a few minutes ago, this German doctor wanted to use my body to take a fantastic... I'm not kidding! Stop making me laugh! It's not funny! This is an omen. It is an omen saying we should grow up. We still might not get out of this. He's doing his howdy doody face. Fine. Let's take it again. I see this as an omen, seriously, an omen saying that we should grow up. Henry, we still might not get out of this. Stop making me laugh!
Tom's trying to continue with the scene.
All right! Listen, a little voice is telling me, Hanks, get out of the business.
Now, this next classic is from Home Improvement, starring Tim Allen. Now, as you probably know, Tim is an experienced stand-up comedian and a great ad-libber. And in this blooper, William O'Leary blows his line. He is supposed to say, I'm my own man, but he says it wrong. And that's all the opening a guy like Tim Allen needs.
Yeah, well, I'm my own wife, and I don't happen to think that...
Now, watch Tim. Now, Tim's just getting warmed up.
I'm my own man, and I don't happen to agree with what your wife told you.
Well, I'm my own wife, too.
All right, Jim will throw this, and we'll go from the crash.
I'm my own wife,
Well,
damn it.
you know, I'm separated, and...
I'm my own wife. Guess it works out. When you fight, where do you go?
Okay.
don't touch me. Okay, I won't. Leave me alone. Stop touching me. I'm my own wife, damn it. That's just the tip of the iceberg.
Here we go. Hey, buddy, and 4.
I'm taking my wife out to dinner.
2.
Hop in the car, hop in the unicycle, and I'll head on out. Take my wife everywhere with me. I got 1 million of these now.
I'm never going to work in this town again.
Now, almost everybody knows the plot of Mork and Mindy, starring Robin Williams and Pam Dauber. Mork was an alien from outer space. Very often the script would have Mindy patiently teaching Mork the ways of our world. Now, sometimes it seemed kind of silly, especially to Robin and Pam.
Well, see, in democracy, everyone just gets one vote.
Can someone vote twice?
No, in democracy, everyone just gets one vote.
Okay. That sounds good to me. I'll go over here and eat some subs.
Now, this next blooper features some of TV's best comedy stars, Ted Knight, Nancy Dussault, and the legendary Audrey Meadows from Too Close for Comfort. Now, we all know that Audrey played the deadpan Alice Cramden who never cracked a smile. Well, you're about to see a very different Audrey Meadows, and it starts when Ted has to say, "Throw my ashes over the side of a boat."
Now, Henry, be practical. There's the cost of the funeral to think about. $10,000 alone, that would be all eaten up.
I don't need a funeral. Just throw my ass over the side of the boat and...
No one said cut, so Audrey will keep going.
With the money you're leaving, who can afford a boat? We'll just have to throw your ass out of a cab window.
Just throw my ashes over the side of the boat like they did with Marvin.
With the money you're leaving, who can afford a boat? We'll have to throw your ashes out a cab window off the Golden Gate Bridge.
Just throw my ashes over the side of the boat like Marvin.
With the... I can't even look at you now.
I don't need a funeral.
Audrey's totally gone.
What time is it? Pack a lunch, guys. We'll be here. Oh, hey, it's only tape, right?
Hey, when it comes to classic TV, who can forget Welcome Back, Kotter? That's the show that launched John Travolta. Here he is as Vinnie Barbarino, the character that turned him into a superstar.
Times you guys just treat him like a dog.
Treat him like a dog?
Yeah.
Are you kidding? I wouldn't treat my dog like that. He'd get dishpan. I wouldn't treat my dog like that. He'd get dishpan paws.
Now, here is one of the biggest hits of all time, Laverne and Shirley, starring Penny Marshall and Cindy Williams. Now, in this scene,
Cindy and Penny are made up to look like they've been in a bar brawl. They haven't seen each other yet. And when they finally do get a look at themselves, watch.
Okay, and continuing on. And continuing.
Oh my God, am I going to say this line? No, all right. No, I realized something about myself. I stood there toe-to-toe fighting.
Hey, we've got more classics, lots more classics still to go. Don't go anywhere.
Next, never-before-seen bloopers from Happy Days with Ron Howard, Henry Winkler, and Tom Bosley.
Hey, we got a whole new batch of never-before-seen clips from Happy Days tonight, and to show them to us, the man who played Mr. C, the dad we all wanted to have. From New York City, please welcome Tom Bosley.
Thank you, Dick. You know, the blooper gremlins must be on the loose lately because they've just come up with a whole new group of never-before-seen bloopers from Happy Days. And this first one is a gem. You know, our director, Jerry Paris, was also a very talented actor who took part in many of our shows. Well, in this scene, he's playing the role of a doctor, giving the boys their Army physical. That's when he decided to play a practical joke on Henry Winkler. Watch.
Turn your head and call. Now, turn your head and cough. Weber, turn your head and cough.
Turn your head. Sorry.
Panzarelli. You don't have to cough.
Of course, Henry and Ron Howard had great chemistry together. Now, here's a scene where Henry is so busy mimicking Ron's speech pattern, he forgets the name of the girl in the script. He's supposed to say Eileen.
Oh, golly gee, Fonz.
Well, I only said one golly gee.
He tried to send Elaine home.
That's
I did it again. It's Eileen.
Okay, here we go. Take it to second place.
I get so confused with so many. Golly gee, Fonz.
I only said one golly gee.
Hey, he tried to send Elaine home.
That's
I
not
did it again. Oh, golly gee, Fonz.
I only said one golly gee. Wait.
Now, Happy Days was blessed with a multi-talented cast, like Pat Morita, the actor who played Arnold. Now, Pat is a comedian and a fine dramatic actor, but how many people know he's a dancer, too? And he learned all his steps from Henry Winkler. Watch.
Tracks on the lawn, right? So I just take a friend of the shiver. So let's get him.
Now, you can't be too tough on the cast for these bloopers, because after all, even the most impeccable of actors can make a mistake, as you're about to see.
Window featuring, in my window rather, featuring all the whatever the heck it is.
Of course, Happy Days was filmed in front of a live audience, so you wanted to get everything just right the first time, for their sake. But once in a while, they'd give you some business to do well, you're about to see why Tiger Woods considers me no threat at all.
In my store, isn't that wonderful?
You do that again? Wait till Ronnie gets all the way in. Step in a little more. Get her ready.
I hope you folks don't have any plans until later this evening.
Well, up to now, all these bloopers have been seen tonight for the very first time. But there is a classic one that bears repeating. It was a practical joke that the entire Cunningham family played on the crew. Before the scene started, Henry and Marion Ross told us that they were going to do a very unusual bit of ad-libbing and to just ignore them. Now, keep your eye on Henry and Marion and note how the rest of us just carry on the scene like nothing out of the ordinary is going on.
Well, every time we leave him alone, he locks himself out of the house.
I don't lock myself out.
Yes, you do.
Oh, never mind, dear. Here's some cookies for you.
just for the trip so you won't get cranky.
Well, they're all crushed.
I know. Every time I go to the supermarket, some old man knocks my cart over.
Well, don't go to that market.
I won't. I just hate that store. I heard this morning that...
Now let's play the scene.
Eat your heart out.
Well, Dick, it was great fun looking back at these special Happy Days bloopers. And it proves one thing. The family that screws up together can still have an 11-year run. Plus reruns. Good night, Dick.
Thank you, Tom. We got a lot more still to come. We'll be right back.
When we return, Johnny Carson, Roseanne, Mary Lou Henner, and Danny DeVito.
You know, back in the early days of ABC, when American Bandstand was on in the afternoon, right smack dab in the middle of Bandstand, there was a show called Who Do You Trust, starring a dear friend of mine, Johnny Carson, and another good friend, Ed McMahon. And they got into more messes, more trouble on that show. And in this particular clip, Ed had just done some sort of a cake commercial, and Johnny, well, take a look.
There's a very young Johnny Carson who's decided to go for a spin. And there's Ed McMahon picking up his cake.
Your tank is ready, Buck Rogers. Come on. Come on over here. Show me what I do. All right, keep this on? Yeah, put that right.
Now Johnny's going to put on the scuba gear while his buddy Ed stands behind him for support. Now, the man on the right, by the way, is a professional scuba instructor.
Not too sure of this at all.
Just a haircut?
I saw John Cameron Swayze do this one night. Now, what do I do now? Did I test this?
Right, all you have to do now is bend over and put the mouthpiece in your mouth, bend over and put your head down in the water, and you start to breathe, and you'll have about the same sensation that you would have of going underwater.
Sure. What do I do? Just
dip it right in there.
Those tanks are heavy.
Better hold on to that.
What do I duck my head under?
Duck your head right under, that's right.
What happened here?
Watch the tank!
What did I do wrong? Why is this leaking?
Well, one of two things. Either one of your ears leaked there, John, or I think the mask is probably too loose.
I've got to breathe through this, don't I? Trying to breathe through my nose.
Right.
What do I do? Who holds me? We're going to hold the tank a little bit?
Yes, I got it.
Don't drop the tank.
I got the tank.
Why don't you get down a little bit deeper, John? Get your ears right under there and get the feel on it.
Nobody could milk a gag like Johnny Carson.
You know, there are a lot of people who feel that the very first examples of reality television were the game shows. Now, in the early days, most of them were live, and anything could happen. Now, watch my good friend Monty Hall weather a few unexpected storms on Let's Make a Deal.
Had you gone for the salad dressing, open up and show what you could have had. The MP would have stood for Master Plowman. Yes, the MP would have stood for Master Plowman, but you're not going to get him. That means that Jay is going to... Jay, if you can plow...
Oh, big fella, this isn't a rest stop.
Salad dressing in the curtain. Look at the reaction she got.
You know, The Odd Couple was a true classic, starring Jack Klugman as Oscar and Tony Randall as Felix. Now, Here's a never-ever-seen-before blooper from that show with Tony Randall playing a much older relative of Felix.
Oh, Albert, I'm sorry I wore the brown print. I know you...
Forget with the brown print. Come on, you talk. Forget myself to the bar.
I want to tell you, Mimi, I've been terrible being jealous the way. I have no reason to be jealous. I'm not going to be jealous anymore. I know I can trust you.
You've got every hell
Now here's a clip from the history-making show Roseanne. Roseanne, by the way, will be starring in her very own reality show this fall.
Lot and your eyes glaze over, and then you get that basket and you start foaming at the mouth. And by the time you get over there, those small appliances, you're in a total frenzy.
Now, in a moment, Sarah Gilbert will run around the corner.
I'll get it.
Are you okay?
Now, the show Taxi had a lot of great bloopers, and there's one that a lot of people seem to remember. It involved Danny DeVito and Mary Lou Henner, who went to Mary Lou herself to give us the inside story. Now, Mary Lou, I've got to ask you about the slapping sequence with Danny DeVito in Taxi.
Okay, well, the first thing I want to make clear is that I was supposed to slap Danny. It was in the script. You know, he's whispering a password in my ear, and the joke is that he obviously whispers something nasty, and I slap him.
But you really slapped him.
Well, he really whispered something nasty. You know, most actors would at least fake it a little bit, but that little Danny, oh, he just kept getting dirtier and dirtier.
Well, he's apparently a method actor.
Right. And I'm a method slapper.
Let's take a look.
When the day comes, you'll be knocking on that door. When you're up to your pretty dimpled cheeks in rubble. And I'll be in here waiting. Just so we know that it's you. Here's the password. Here's the password. Here's the password.
That's disgusting.
But memorable.
I hate to tell you.
But we gotta do it again.
What he says is so filthy. I can't.
Oh, boy. So the million-dollar question is, what was it that Danny was saying?
Okay. All right, I'll tell you.
Are you kidding? Did he say... Mary Lou Henner, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, we're not through yet. Come on back for another classic.
Next, bloopers from The Practice with Dylan McDermott, Laura Flynn Boyle, and Michael Badalucco.
You know, in the 50 years of this network, there have been some great drama shows, not the least of which is The Practice, an honored show created by David E. Kelly. Now, to show us some bloopers from The Practice and some other classic shows, here's the man who plays Jimmy Berluti on The Practice, the Emmy Award-winning actor, Michael Badalucco. Please sit down. Thank you. Michael, the Practice can be a pretty serious show, but I understand you brought us some of the lighter moments.
Right, Dick. Like this first one with Dylan McDermott. Now, as you know, Dylan's character, Bobby Donnell, is a no-nonsense, intense guy. So he likes to stay in character even when he's blowing his lines.
That sounds reasonable.
Oh, it's reasonable, all right. But unfortunately for Dylan, he was blowing his lines in front of me. Basically, it's the same scenario as before, except she hit him in the street instead of her garage. My question is, do I let her say this to the police?
You do if you're nuts.
Sometimes the cover-up can be worse than the crime.
She's already committed the cover-up, Jimmy. If this new version gets out, she'll be charged with...
She's already committed the cover-up, Jimmy. If this new version gets out, she'll be charged with... Oh, no. It's okay. Stay in it. Stay in it. Shut up. Let me do my stuff. All right, cut.
Now, another serious character is Lara Flynn Boyle.
Oh, yes. Helen Gamble, the district attorney. She's strong, focused, and determined to get this scene right.
We stipulate to withdrawing the guilty plea. Enter guilty to narcotic trafficking. Mitchell Fink.
God, I'm sorry. Sorry.
We stipulate to withdrawing the guilty plea. Enter guilty to... Ready? We stipulate to withdrawing the guilty plea.
Yeah, I feel for you guys. Those scripts are filled with all those legal terms. That's not easy stuff.
No, it's not. And the plots can get very complicated. Here are Cameron Manheim and Kelly Williams complicating things even more.
I can't believe it.
We were just as shocked as you are.
I thought it was going to be a substantial offer. Didn't they tell you that?
They intimated that we would be very happy. Yes.
Our suspicion is they did that to lull us a little, thinking if we were expecting settlement that we Lily wouldn't.
Okay.
Lily.
She'd like to buy a vowel.
Now, I understand Cameron was, part of a practical joke on the set?
Yeah. She's always full of surprises. In this scene, Cameron's character, Eleanor, is supposed to be having an important discussion with Richard, played by Jason Kravitz.
So, what happened?
Let's say they decided to improvise.
Now, these next bloopers concern props, and I learned something very interesting about you, Michael. You started in this business as a prop man?
That's right, Dick. My father was a carpenter on movie sets. He worked on a lot of Woody Allen films, and he would take me to the set when I was a kid. And it's like Yogi Berra said, you can observe a lot by watching.
And you observed enough to get a job as a prop man after graduation?
Yeah, it kept me from being a waiter. And here I am 20 years later with a steady job as an actor, which means next year I could be a waiter.
This should make you an expert on these prop bloopers.
Well, I prefer the word connoisseur. This first one is from Coach, and it features Craig T. Nelson, Jerry Van Dyke, and an envelope that steals the scene.
Hot dog, Memphis, Tennessee. The video I ordered finally came.
What video?
The Search for Elvis. It's an amazing and startling documentary. You know how much I love Elvis. I can't get it out. I can't get it out.
Tell me about the one from Soap.
Oh, this is a prop man's worst nightmare. It's a scene featuring the wonderful Catherine Hellman and John Biner, a funny, funny man. From start to finish, everything goes wrong. Take a look.
You know, the secret to a good salad is in the tossing.
Really?
Yes, it's in the tossing. Will I find something to
Toss it with!
I've got to do everything myself.
We don't have any utensils.
Why don't I toss what's left and you can serve the dinner?
All right. I'll just open this bottle of 1971 Dom Perignon. Fantastic year, 1971.
Was for me, too.
It's a little tricky.
Good God!
I don't know why they bottle it like that. That's dangerous as hell. I don't have any damn glasses. Fantastic year, 1971.
Was for me, too.
Yeah, this is a little tricky.
Trickier than we thought.
All right, Michael, before we go, the Super Bowl promo.
You wouldn't let me go without one on me, right?
No. You got it.
Well, there was a promo for the practice, and we were doing kind of a parody on that beer commercial where the gals fight each other.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the premise was the girls are fighting over me. And I'm in this promo with Dylan McDermott and my good friend Steve Harris. And they decide to ad-lib. Oh, I love it when women fight over me. What? What?
Hey, that took you by surprise.
Hey, it could have been Gatorade.
Thank you, Michael, very much for being with us. Would you come back?
I'll check with my lawyer and let you know.
Michael Badalucco, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Michael, very much.
Next, Donnie and Marie, and some moments from the Blooper Hall of Fame.
This next segment is very dear to my heart. Here's a look at some of the great variety shows that this network used to do, and here's a blooper from one we all remember, Donnie and Marie.
Tell me, Jedediah, what's black and white and black and white and black and white and black and white?
I don't know, Felicity. What is black and white and black and white and black and white and black and white? I don't know, Felicity. What is black and white and black and white and black and white and black and white? I don't know, Felicity. What is black and white and black and white and black and white and black and white? A penguin falling down the stairs. That's what's black and white and black and white and black and white and black and white.
Now, one half of that famous duo is out on a national tour these days, so coming to us from his Somewhere in Time tour, here's my good friend, Donnie Osmond.
Hello, Dick.
Hey, Donnie. Now, what bloopers have you collected for us tonight?
Well, I've got some great ones for you, starting with a man we both have great admiration for, Mr. Lawrence Welk. As you know, he was very important to the ABC network. As a matter of fact, his variety show ran for 16 years, and nothing could stop this man. Not even moments like this.
Cowboy star Gene Autry introduced the song Tumbling Lullaby. Tumbleweeds. Tumbling tumbleweeds.
Donnie, I hear you have a very special blooper from our pal Pat Boone.
That's right, Dick. You will not believe the series of mistakes that Pat makes. And it happened in the days when everything was live. You remember those days. Well, Pat was only 22 years old at the time, but he handled this just like an old pro. Now, the first disaster occurred in the very opening song. Watch. Now, there is nothing wrong with your set. Pat's microphone has gone totally out. You can hear the music behind him and the background singers. The song is zippity-doo-dah, but you'd never guess it. He's got plenty of sunshine heading his way. And there's even a bluebird on his shoulder. But Pat Zip has been zapped. Well, Pat finally made it to the end of the show, and all he had to do was sing the famous Chevrolet theme song.
And drive with care everywhere. Until next week.
Now, I love this next blooper with the Tennessee Ernie Ford.
Yeah, this is a good one. And having done so many shows with my entire family, I can really relate to this next clip. Now, Ernie Ford was doing a Christmas show with a bunch of kids, and he invited his son, Brian, to sit next to him during one of the songs. Watch what happened.
I'm going to send you 8 by 8 because 8 was the 8 that stood at the gate. 7 was the 7 that couldn't get to heaven. 6 was the 6 that couldn't get fixed. 5 was the 5 that come down the line. that's the boy. We were little good children. One was a little bitty baby boy. In Bethlehem. Children, go where I send thee. Oh, you gonna send me? Yeah. I'm gonna send you 10 by 10. 10 by 10, that's 10. 9 that's coming behind it. 8 that's good at the gate. 7 that's couldn't get the heaven. 6 that's couldn't get the gate. 4 that's good at the door. In Bethlehem.
That young man certainly made his presence felt.
Yes, he did. And my family thought I was a ham. Well, Dick, thank you for having me on the show. You have a good evening.
Good night, Donnie.
Thank you.
Donnie Osmond, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back with a lot more.
Coming up, Dennis Franz with bloopers from NYPD Blue, plus Cheech and Chong.
NYPD Blue has been a groundbreaking show since it started way back in 1993. There have been a lot of terrific actors associated with it since that time. David Caruso, Jimmy Smits, Rick Schroeder, Sharon Lawrence, Gail O'Grady, a lot of them. But one man has been there through it all. And we visited with him on the set of NYPD Blue just the other day. Here's a look at what happened. Well, here we are on the set of NYPD Blue with a man who's been called the heart and soul of the show. Here's Detective Andy Sipowicz himself, Dennis Franz. Dennis, thank you very much for joining us in this 50-year celebration.
No problem. But let me get this straight again. After being on the air for 10 years and picking up a few important awards along the way, you came here tonight to basically celebrate my screw-ups?
Yeah, that's right.
You're all heart.
No, but if it makes it any easier for you, we don't have to start with your bloopers. Let's take a look at some of your co-stars.
Now, you're talking. Like, for example, my partner, Mark Paul Gosselaar. Now, as you know, Dick, an actor has to hit his mark for a scene to work.
Well, in other words, they have to stand on the spot that's been set up for the cameras and the lights and so forth. What happened to Mark Paul?
Well, let's just say it was a moving performance.
Over here.
This Vinny's dug in. What's a lawyer? Huh, which doesn't leave us with a whole hell of a lot.
Now, tell me about Charlotte Ross.
Oh, Charlotte Ross. She's a beautiful, talented actress who I love to work with.
And she's provided a lot of great moments for your show.
Yes, and she's provided a lot of great moments for your show, too. Watch this.
All right, enough of this already.
Enough of what?
I think I looked right at your penis.
Yes, I looked at that.
Alas, it is now time to see the master at work. We have a few Dennis Franz bloopers.
Well, that's hard to believe.
Really?
Yeah, it's hard to believe that you only have a few clips.
You give me that gold crucifix and chain that you bought from Sydney for $30 yesterday, and you continue selling your francs. I'm sorry. And you're going to continue selling your francs, or you're going to, or the cops are going to eat them while I'm vouching your car down. Or the cops are going to eat them while I'm vouching. Or the cops are going to eat him while I'm vouching. Or the cops are going to eat him while I'm vouchering your... Can we start again? Because I'm gone.
Now, your show goes on location a lot, Dennis, which really delivers the sights and sounds of the city.
Yeah, especially the sounds.
This is a murder investigation. Don't get yourself in the middle of it. And stop playing a tuba when I'm talking.
Now, Dennis, at the risk of embarrassing you, my research shows you've won 4 Emmys, a Golden Globe, and 2 Screen Actors Guild Awards.
Thank you, Dick. I don't find that embarrassing. I find this embarrassing.
Yeah, I don't want to do it either. Believe me, guys have made career in the detective bureau off one good Believe me, yeah. Hey, I don't want to do it either. Believe me, guys have made career. There's guys who have made...
Guys have won Emmys.
Yeah, saying stuff like this. Thank you very much.
Dennis, you've been doing this show so long. How many scenes can you knock off in a day?
Well, that all depends on what else I knock off.
Talk about it, and then when I try to, you hush me in front of people who already know.
I just don't think that...
Dennis, thanks very much for being such a great sport, and please thank everyone for their hospitality.
Oh, this was nothing, Dick. And if you ever come back again, I'm going to give you the full NYPD Blue treatment.
And what would that be?
I'm putting you under arrest.
Dennis Rounds, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, sir. Boy, he's a terrific guy. Don't go away. There's still more bloopers to come.
Next, some classic bloopers from American Bandstand.
You know, I was thinking it over the other day. I am probably the oldest living employee of the ABC network, so I couldn't let a 50-year celebration go by without a little look at some of my own memorable moments.
Like my introduction of Gladys Knight and the Pips. This week on American Bandstand, this next tune changes the tempo. Speaking of tempo, don't forget Nino and April. Nino Tempo and April Stevens will be here. This is Gladys Pips and the Knights. Now this was a visit from Cheech and Chong.
I wouldn't buy the record, you know, because like I don't buy no records, man. Like I rip them off, you know, like I put them under my shirt like that.
You know the record, man. You know what you can do with the record?
No, I don't want to know.
Let's try. Want to try?
What?
The record, man. You know what? This is what I've been wanting to do ever since I watched your show, man. You know what I mean, man?
That's 50 years of bloopers, and here's to at least 50 more. For now, Dick Clark. So long.
Next, it's the 2-hour finale of The Practice on ABC. Next Monday, ABC's biggest stars, most embarrassing moments.
Want to have some fun?
Ready. Oops. All ABC bloopers next Monday, 8/7 Central.
Is this what stealing a million sounds like? Thursday, meet the Major, his wife, and the Professor. Were they playing Who Wants to Steal a Million? Thursday, phone a friend and watch Primetime's Who Wants to Steal a Million together at 9/8 Central.